You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
Go Tigers, 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 go Tigers.
You're now listening to Tuff Tiger Talk with Big Q and the guys on the Pro Media Network.
What's going on, family? How y'all doing tonight? Rocking with the Tuff Tiger Talk podcast on the PRO Media Network, man. Round of applause is for you and all the Tuff Tiger fans out there in LSU land, man. As LSU continues to bring the pain to anybody standing in their way. The Tigers massive smackdown on the Vanderbilt Commodores, nothing classy about it. They handled business, went up to Vandy, smacked them down. Previous matchup before they destroyed Northwestern State, we knew that was going to happen. But I mean, we're going to talk about it today, man. Real amped to have it to talk about it today. LSU sitting up 4-0, 4-0, first in SEC West, ranked number 4th in the nation. Getting ready to take on Utah State is the next matchup in Death Valley. It's going to be interesting. Then the Tigers kick off that SEC schedule, looking for some payback going on. But first things first, before we get into it, first I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the Tuff Tiger Talk podcast. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the like button and share the show. Join our channel, man, on YouTube, the Tuff Tiger Talk, as we continue to go into our second season of covering LSU football. We do a little basketball, but this is a football podcast. We're talking about a lot of great things going on in LSU. Big time, man. This is the year, man, that was promised to us. Last year, a few wins short of a national championship had to beat, I have to say it, Texas A&M at the end of the year, the cheatery that happened with that one. Then, of course, the upset in the swamp with Florida. Had those 2 wins were taken by LSU. We could have been playing for a championship last year. This year, they're not leaving anything on the table. Joe Burrow, this is exciting, explosive, but we're going to get right into it. Today's episode, we're going to recap LSU and Vandy, and we're going to hit you some information. The latest information is a very short podcast, about 18 minutes long. We got the inactives and latest news on the Tigers coming into this week. We'll talk about Joe Burrow, man, how he's on fire. Big credit to Joey B as he continues to turn it up and in a major capacity. And he is definitely in the Heisman. He's in the Heisman talk. He's definitely in the Heisman chatter, up there with Tua and Jalen Hurt and the rest of those guys, man. That's where he belongs. He's really turning it up for LSU. Big ups, breaking records with the Tigers, 6 touchdowns, all this great stuff. Joey B is the real deal, man. And also we'll play a little Coach O as Coach O comes in. He'll chime up with his thoughts, post-game thoughts on the Vanderbilt matchup. We'll play a little Coach O, and then we'll preview LSU versus Utah State, the Aggies game coming up next Saturday at 11 p.m. on 11 a.m. Excuse me, not p.m. 11 a.m. in Death Valley. So all that today on the show. Like I said, hit the subscribe button if you aren't a subscriber, and let's get right into Tuff Tiger Talk. Latest episode, looking at what happened in this game. 66-38 smackdown. LSU went on a rampage. Now Vanderbilt's not the best competition to talk about in terms of saying that they're some big world beater. The team is 0-3 right now currently. They played tough up to a part. LSU is just a whole nother world. Joe Burrow finished with 25 of 34. He had 398 yards and 6 touchdowns in the game. That was a huge thing because it was just, what can I tell you about Joey? I mean, he's doing it. He's doing it big. Coach O said he score, be aggressive. That's some of the things that Coach O kept chiming and talking about doing for the team, and he continued to step it up as Tigers had more of an aggressive approach as it pays off, as he tossed 4 of his school record 6 touchdowns to Jamar Chase, who continues to show up big. He threw for 398, like I said, lead number 4 LSU to a 66-38 romp. And this is really big, man, for a major way for LSU. I just love it, man, because at first LSU's offense really struggled off and on last year. Now you see them, they taking on a new life thanks to the passing game coordinator, as they like to call him, comes over from the Saints, shares some game with Ernst Minga, and all of a sudden we have a very beautiful offense that's looking really good for LSU. So, I mean, this is just really really competent ball. Anyway, top rusher for LSU in the game was Clyde. That was Hilaire. He finished with 14 carries, 106 yards, 1 touchdown. Chase had 10 catches for 229 yards, had 4 touchdowns in the game. Big time win. 599 total yards for the LSU Tigers against Vandy's 374. Of course, they had a couple of turnovers apiece. 26 first downs for LSU versus 17 by Vandy. And despite the fact that Vanderbilt had the ball 32 minutes and 33 seconds, LSU had 27 minutes, 27 seconds, were still able to beat the living brakes off Vanderbilt. And maybe Vanderbilt consider going down to Division II or something after the smackdown they got. But anyway, before I can continue on with the rest of the statistics, I hear what Coach O had to say about the victory over Vanderbilt. Who's Coach O?
All right, Coach. I got proud of our team. 4-0 on the road. The SEC victory, our first SEC victory, was everything pretty knowable. But you know what? We kept on fighting. We made some big plays. We made some uncharacteristic bad plays, and we're going to get them fixed. But, open date is right there around the corner. We're going to enjoy this victory. And I'm sure I'm going to be feeling a little bit different than tomorrow. I'm feeling great right now that we won the football game. That's something that I'm really proud of. I thought our special teams played lights out, the block punt, and they went to fake give us the onside kick, and Coach Mack was all over. So I thought that he did a phenomenal job. I thought our offense did a phenomenal job. We shouldn't have turned the ball over. Obviously, it was bad handling on the handoff and on Clyde's part and Joe's part. Both of them, they got to get better on that. And we shouldn't have threw an interception on the end. We gave up 14 points on turnovers. We were even on the turnover ratio. On the first drive, we had a couple second-team guys in there. They jumped out of the gap. They made some big plays. For the most part, we came in there, we stopped the run. Then we got an over defense. The 3 technique got out of his gap, and they made a big play. But I thought the guys kept on fighting, and it was a good win for our team.
That's Coach O, man, making a short sweep, breaking it down. Basically, how the team came up with the wins. Has a few miscues in the game, but overall, you got to give it to LSU. 66-38. That's the second straight game LSU put over 60 points up on the opponent, even though it was Northwestern State this time around. This was actual SEC competition. Vanderbilt is an SEC school, believe it or not, and they still did it to them. Utah State, on notice, you're about to get a 60 burger. We'll break that down in a minute. But defensive statistics, if you look at it, let's finish the offensive stats right away. John Emery Jr., who's pretty good, was backing up Fresh Prince of Hilaire. He had 9 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown as well. Like I said, Joey B had 25 of 34 for 398. He was averaged almost 12 yards every time he threw the ball, 6 touchdowns with a 96.4 QBR, pretty good. Jamar Chase, the wide receiver, had a terrific game, 10 catches, 229 yards, averaged almost 23 yards a catch, had 4 touchdowns, but the longest was a 64-yard play. Terrence Marshall Jr. had 4 catches for 75 yards, 5 catches for Racy McMath for 48 yards in the score. You had Justin Jefferson, not too big. He had a touchdown, but only 2 catches for 18 yards. Stephen Sullivan finished with 3 catches for 48 yards in the game for the Tigers. Of course, he talked about the fumble by Clyde Hilaire, who fumbled and lost it. But the top defensive players was Jacob Phillips. He finished with 10 tackles. 3 of them was for loss. Grant Delpit considered to show up really good in this one, 6 tackles, 1 pass defense. Derek Stingley Jr. had 5 tackles and 3 pass defense in the game as well. 5 for Jacoby Stevens, 1 pass defense. Damone Clark had 4 tackles and a sack and a half. Brandon Fehoko had a pretty decent game, 4 tackles, a half a sack, 2.5 for a loss, and the Tigers finished the game with 3 sacks on the game. In the effort. Now, outside of that, like I said, they did a fantastic job, man. Overall team effort win. I just respect the hell out of what LSU is doing on the football field as far as the offense is concerned. We know what the defense could do, but the offense was something that had to catch up. We looking ahead, spanning ahead. Don't get too far in ahead because we're looking at Alabama down the line, and can they deal with what LSU has this year and the confidence level they're playing? So that's way down the line. So let's just keep it where it is right now. More information dealing with the Tide. Dealing with LSU right now. A report, Ingram returns to the field. Miles Brennan was absent from practice today. Sophomore Ed Ingram practiced with LSU for the first time on Tuesday since being reinstated. Charges against Ingram was aggravated sexual assault were dismissed Friday morning in Dallas, which is good news for the team. The details of the case are limited because the Texas AG, Ken Paxton, placed the case under official seal. And that just pretty much tell you whatever happened, they ain't going to let you know. Ingram started 12 games at right guard as a freshman in 2017. He's probably one of our best offensive linemen, said Coach O. You get him back with this explosive offense, watch what can happen. Of course, looking at a few things. Meanwhile, tight end Stephen Sullivan practiced with the wide receivers on Tuesday. Former wide receiver Sullivan might see more targets with Marshall out. And then, of course, just the roll call of players that were missing. Justin Jefferson, Todd Harris, Terrence Marshall, Miles Brennan wasn't there, Trevin Cately, Leonard Fournette, Darian Moore, Torrey Carter, Ray Thornton, Michael Divinity wasn't there, Cardell Thomas, Donovan Campbell, Adrian McGee, Austin Douglas, Thomas Perry, Rashard Lawrence, and Glenn Logan. That's a lot of players there who just that didn't show up for practice. Not saying that they won't play in the game, but it's still early on in the week, so we'll just have to keep monitoring. But the big news of the day is that Ingram returns to the field to assist the LSU offensive line. So that's really big news for the LSU family out there to get more offensive help there. It's a real help. Now going to some more news doing with Joe Burrows, a red hot start in 2019. I mean, what more can I say about Joey B? He's doing it all, man. Coming off this weekend when he dusted Vanderbilt with 6 touchdowns, he pushed himself even closer to the Heisman Trophy situation. He was 25 for 35, like I said, for 398, no interceptions, 6 touchdowns, broke a screw record for the most passing touchdowns in a game. That was a previous mark held by Zach Mettenberger, who was on the sidelines with that win, and Burrow moved up to 7-2 odds to win the Heisman, which are the second best odds on the board behind Tua Tagovailoa, who was carrying a 9-5 odds. Now Tua opened the season with 3-1 odds. Burrow carried 200-1 odds. Burrow is now 100 for 124 passing through 4 games. He has 1,520 yards, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Tua has 87 for 112 passing through 4 games with 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns and no interceptions. Could you understand the numbers? Let's go over that quickly again. Burrow, 100 of 124 through 4 games. He has 1,520 yards, 17 touchdowns, 2 picks. Tua has 87 of 112 through 4 games for 1,300, 17 touchdowns and no interceptions. Just how good Joey Burrow is he's just fantastic. The Tigers have the number 2 passing attack in college right now in the nation. They have 432 passing yards per game, up from 229 per game, which was 67 ranked last year. LSU has the number 1 scoring offense in the country, averaging 58 points per game, up from 32 points last year, which was 38. And here's a few of the percentage completion numbers for Joey. He leads the nation in completion percentage with Jalen Hurts. Passing per game, he's number 2 with 380 yards per game. And he ranks only second behind Anthony Gordon from Washington State. QB rating, he has second in the nation, 225.63. Burrow's quarterback rating after 4 games is second only to Jalen Hurts, who has 250.20. Passing touchdown has 17. Burrow is second to only Gordon, who has 21 passing touchdowns on the year, including 9 passing touchdowns in Washington State's loss to UCLA. Passing yards per attempt, averaging 12.3 per attempt, second only to Jalen Hurts, who's averaging 14.4. Total passing yards, 1520, which, as you can see, he's only second to Gordon, who passed for 1894 in 4 games for Washington State. That's a guy you need to keep a look on him as well. Completions, he's 7th in the nation with 100 completions, sitting on the top 10 national list, the lone SEC quarterback inside the top 10. Passing offense as a team, 431.8, which is almost 432 yards per game. As a team, LSU ranks only behind Mike Leach's air raid offense at Washington State as the second best passing attack in the country, sitting at 431.8 yards per game. For some perspective on the shift, LSU's pass attack now how they rank nationally over the past 6 seasons, which was in 2008 they were 67. 2017 they were 84th, in 2016 101, 2015 106. They've never been this high. This is their number 2 in the nation. You tell me this is something special that we are watching here. Of course, we have injuries that we have to be very mindful of. with Divinity and Terrace Marshall and the rest of those guys. Not saying those guys will be out, but like we're saying, this is still very early on in the week before the Aggies. But anyway, to get into the quick breakdown of LSU as they get ready to take on the Aggies of Utah State. This is the 11 o'clock game. It's going to be interesting because the Aggies are 2-1. LSU's fourth in the nation, sitting at 4-0. The top quarterback, Jordan Love, is 88 of 129, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. This team's averaging 40 points a game they can score, but they allow 21 points a game. LSU's averaging almost 58, giving up 23.8. Shouldn't be an issue, but you never take an underdog team or a small team like this granted. You know, we got to watch out for these teams. They won two in a row so far, speaking of Utah State, but it's going to be in the Death Valley, a difficult game in terms of Utah, but LSU got to keep their guard against teams like this. Anyway, that'll do it for the show. Thank you for joining us for Tough Tiger Talk. If you like the show, please subscribe, share, and follow us on YouTube for more content. Thank you for joining us tonight. Go Tigers.
Homebistro.com. Freshly prepared, home delivered, restaurant quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50 plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commit. Welcome to the One Shop Gourmet Food Delivery, specializing affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from homebistro.com? Restaurant quality, made with natural ingredients, delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering, and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with homebistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with homebistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is The Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out The Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top-flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to EmbracePetInsurance.com. That's EmbracePetInsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.